Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to give you that shortcut to move you from just, being overloaded with information to actually being well informed. So today, our mission is to really improve how natural and confident you sound in everyday English conversations. We're doing a deep dive into that one thing that separates language learners from, well, truly fluent communicators, instant reactions. You know that feeling, right? You get the complex grammar, you know all the vocabulary, but then someone hits you with something surprising or funny.
Or something emotional.
Exactly. And your brain just stalls. You end up saying one flat word, or even worse, just silence.
And that pause, it's just lethal for the flow of a conversation, isn't it?
Totally.
Real fluency, I mean, it's not about perfect grammar, it's about timing. It's about tone. And it's about having those short, emotional phrases just ready to go.
Right.
If you don't have those internalized, the whole interaction just feels stunted. So today, we're trying to bypass that conscious, how do I say this, step?
We're aiming for linguistic automaticity, getting these phrases to just come out instantly with the right emotional weight for the moment. Okay, so let's really unpack this. If we're going to build this instant reaction arsenal, where do we even start?
I think we have to start with the most emotionally charged moments. Surprise, joy, sadness. Because those are the situations where a delayed or like a weak reaction can completely break the connection.
Okay, let's start with surprise. It's universal, right? But the way learners often react is just by saying, really?
Right, and really is. I mean, it's not bad, but it can sound like you're just asking for confirmation.
Like you're questioning the fact.
Exactly. You're not expressing shock or genuine interest. What you need is expressive power.
So what's better?
Phrases that have intensity, that kind of challenge what you've just heard. Things like, no way, or you're kidding.
You're kidding is a great one. It doesn't literally mean you think they're lying.
No, not at all. It just conveys that the news is so unexpected it needs immediate focus. It almost demands that they tell you more.
I love that. It turns the surprise from just a statement into a shared experience.
Absolutely. And you have to carry that same dynamic energy into how you react to good news.
Okay.
So if a friend says, I got a promotion, you can't just say, good.
No, that would be terrible.
It would kill the moment. You need enthusiasm that matches theirs.
The sources we looked at really emphasize phrases like, that's awesome, or the very common, good for you. But wait, let's talk about good for you for a second. Can't that sometimes risk sounding a little, patronizing?
That is such a key nuance, and the answer is yes, it can. It's all about the tone.
The inflection.
The inflection, exactly. If you say, good for you, with a flat downward tone, yeah, it can sound dismissive, almost passive-aggressive.
Right.
But when you say it with warmth, with an upward inflection, hey, good for you, it's one of the most supportive things you can say. It celebrates their achievement without making it about you.
That makes a lot of sense. It's the energy, not just the words. Okay, now for the hard part. Reacting to bad news. This is where I think people really freeze up because they're afraid of saying the wrong thing, or they feel like they have to offer a solution.
And that's the big mistake. You're not there to fix their problem.
Right.
You're there to connect with them as a human. And the phrases are small, but they carry enormous relational weight. They signal empathy.
So you have to deploy them instantly.
Instantly. Think about, oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. Or the really crucial one, that must be really hard.
Acknowledging their difficulty.
Yes. You're proving you're listening and that you respect the emotional burden. They're not complicated sentences, but they show you're emotionally available right now.
So whether it's joy or sadness, the main lesson is to give an instant, genuine emotional reaction, not just a linguistic nod.
Precisely. And all of that rests on a foundation that I think most speakers just overlook.
Which is?
Simply proving you're listening. Let's shift to the absolute cornerstone of sounding engaged, which is something called back-channeling.
Okay, so define back-channeling for us. Why is it so non-negotiable for sounding fluent?
Back-channeling is basically all those short, sort of non-committal sounds or words that native speakers use while someone else is talking.
Ah, so you mean like, and right.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, I see. Got it. You hear these every few seconds in a real conversation. It signals you're actively listening, you're following them, and you're not lost.
And you're doing it without interrupting their main point.
Yes, and the absence of these is what makes someone feel like they're just talking at a wall.
You mentioned tone, though. I feel like a phrase like "I see" can sometimes sound incredibly dismissive.
That's a critical point. If you drag it out, I see,
Hmm.
and follow it with silence, it sounds like you're judging them.
Yeah.
An effective back channel is quick. It's light. It's almost background noise. You're just confirming you got the information. You're not, analyzing it deeply.
Okay.
Now, if you are struggling to follow, you might change it up. Maybe a more tentative, I'm not so sure.
And that cues the speaker to maybe explain it a different way.
Right. And conversely, if you strongly agree with them, you have to move beyond a simple, yeah.
This is key. If you are totally on board with what they're saying, you need those certainty markers.
Like what?
Like exactly. Or my favorite contemporary one, totally. Those short words show complete alignment. It's so much more effective than saying, I agree with your statement.
So much more. And while the words are important, the sources all really underscore the need for nonverbal communication.
Oh, especially now with all the video calls we're on.
That's it. Your short verbal reactions have to be supported by physical cues.
We're talking about nodding, raising an eyebrow.
A slight smile, all of it. Nodding confirms you're listening. A smile can soften your tone, even if you're just saying right. These little physical acts make your phrases feel human and present.
And without them, your back channeling can feel cold, almost robotic.
Yeah, it really can.
This brings us really nicely into situations that aren't, super emotional, but they still require some finesse to keep things positive.
The small conversational frictions.
Exactly. Not every moment is some big announcement. So here's where it gets really interesting for me. How do you handle a truly bad joke? You don't want to fake a laugh, but you have to acknowledge the attempt.
It's all about preserving that positive mood, right?
Yeah.
The sources give us some great, lighthearted ways to deflect. You target the joke, not the person.
Okay, like what?
You can smile and say, that's so bad it's funny. It acknowledges the attempt, but keeps things light.
Or that playful critique, you always have the worst jokes.
Exactly. It's a short reaction that shows you got it, and it keeps the energy moving. You avoid that awful, awkward silence.
This is a form of conversational stress reduction.
It is. And speaking of stress reduction, it's just as important when someone makes a mistake. A small spill, forgetting a word.
Or a technology glitch. That's a huge one in modern conversation. Someone's struggling to share their screen and they get all flustered.
Yeah, precisely. And your reaction in that moment dictates whether they feel embarrassed or just, annoyed at the tech. Your goal is to immediately deflate the seriousness of it.
With what? What are the best phrases?
They're minimal, but so powerful, no worries.
That's a good one.
It minimizes the perceived damage. Or just a simple, it happens.
I find don't stress about it is really effective. It's like you're giving them permission to just relax and try again.
It is. It shifts the focus away from the error and back to the conversation. These phrases are like a gentle tap on the shoulder that says, it's okay, we're still here. They're essential for keeping things smooth.
Okay, so this has given us a fantastic library of these short, automatic voices. But now we have to talk about application, because just listening to us isn't enough, right? You have to internalize them.
Yes, this requires active practice. So let's run through the practice scenarios from the source material. And for you listening, I want you to try and think of your own 3 or 4 word reaction before I give our suggestion. It's about building that reflex.
Great idea. Okay, scenario 1. Imagine your friend just told you they passed their driving test. They'd failed a few times before. What's your instant celebratory reaction?
The core feeling here is achievement, relief.
Yeah.
You need immediate high energy. Something like, congrats, you did it. The brevity just packs a punch.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, scenario 2. You're on a video call, and you watch a colleague accidentally spill coffee all over their desk. They look mortified.
Instant empathy and concern here. Your reaction has to be focused on them, not the mess. So, oh no, are you okay?
Or you could go for shared misery, like, oh, that's the worst.
Yes, that works great too. It shows solidarity.
And the final one, scenario 3. A coworker says to you in the elevator, I'm feeling really tired today. It's just a casual moment.
This just requires a short phrase of neutral understanding. No advice, just connection. So, something immediate and relatable.
Yeah, feel you.
Or even, same here, it's been a long week.
Perfect. Just confirming that shared experience.
These scenarios really drive home the main takeaway, don't they? The most powerful reactions are short, natural, and just saturated with emotion. We're not trying to craft these long, complicated sentences.
No, you're communicating an authentic, immediate feeling. So, what does this all mean? It means the true shortcut to sounding natural isn't about knowing the biggest words. It's about deploying the smallest ones automatically and with the right tone. Mastering these reactions is where fluency really comes alive.
I agree. When you master back channeling, empathy phrases, all of it, you're signaling that you're a fully engaged participant. You become
Yeah.
fluent in connection, and that's so much more important than just linguistic perfection.
Yeah.
And here's a final thought to mull over as you start using these. We've established that these instant reactions are like a fast sprint. They're necessary for the immediate moment.
Hmm.
But what happens in the long run? When the conversation moves on and you genuinely need a moment to think, and your mind just goes blank.
Hmm.
If you need to pause for 3, 4, 5 seconds, what tools could you use to stop that silence from becoming awkward dead air? How do we use fillers or bridging statements to turn a blank mind into a moment of, well, sophisticated conversational management?
That is the next level beyond the instant reaction.
It is. They
And that's an excellent challenge to chew on. Thank you for diving deep with us into the expressive power of instant English reactions. We really hope these short phrases become second nature for you and make your next conversation smoother, more authentic, and a lot more constant. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.